RAM has taken another victim. Storage and RAM prices have skyrocketed, and as a result, we are seeing fewer products in the market. I was never really a huge fan of the PC handhelds for AYANEO. I really like some of their Android ones. Like, those are pretty nice. I wasn't interested in the AYANEO Next 2 because it was a ridiculous price. Well, it's such a ridiculous price that they've said, we can't make this thing. It's too expensive. And basically, they've said they're not going to be making the AYANEO Next 2 for the foreseeable future. I think that they're still fulfilling orders for the people that have already pre-ordered, but you're not going to be able to get them after that. My problem with this is whenever you have fewer products in the market, that's less competition. And when there's less competition, there's less innovation because competition drives innovation. So I think that this is terrible news. Bad news, Bill strikes again. But Russ, you had some other information that you wanted to share.
Yeah, so I got an email this morning from AYANEO, and it said, hey, just letting you guys know, everything is going up in price. And so it's like, it kind of felt like a marketing thing, but then also it was like a warning. It was like, hey, buy these things now while you can, because we are going to raise the prices on all of them. And even then, they like show a status in like many of their handhelds, like the Conquer Pocket Fit, which I think was probably the best handheld they've ever made in terms of price to performance.
It's so good.
It's gone. It's not even on their website anymore. It's unavailable in every single SKU. And then they said that they're going to be relaunching it in phases. So it's like something they'll potentially be able to offer in the future, but it's just gone. And they say it's because of storage component costs. And so, it's a little scary that they're like not only like picking and choosing like the AYANEO Next 2, they're saying they can't make that one anymore, but they're just full on being like, all of these are going to go up. And they've always been the first. They've always been very clear about, making sure they make their money. And so it makes sense that they're probably the first in this space, at least, to really like jack up the prices wholesale. Everyone else is just kind of trickling them through like AYN and Retroid and stuff. So yeah, I went to the AYANEO Next 2 Indiegogo page the other day when they first announced that they weren't going to be offering any future pre-orders, just to see how many people had already pre-ordered, and those people are all going to be fulfilled. Okay.
Don't say how many. I want people
let me tell you
guess.
what the tiers there are, though. So there's three tiers. So there's they're all Strix Halo, right? So there's the AI 385, so the cheaper one at $1,800. There is the 395, so the full on one. That one's like $2,500 or something like that. And then there is the Big Bubba with 128 gigs of RAM and also Strix Halo, and that one is retail like $3,500, something like that. But it will, pre-orders $3,500. Retail was going to be like $4,200. That was the one that's got, this is the one with the battery. It's so big it can't take it on a plane. Like it's just ridiculous. Anyway, so those are the three price tiers, and I will say one of them had 0 pre-orders, but I have the numbers for the other two if you guys want to guess.
Okay, well, first off, we got to guess which one had 0 pre-orders. I'm pretty confident in my guess, but I feel like I'm going to be wrong because there's always people that have more money than they should. You know what I mean? Carrie, which one do you think, top, middle, or bottom tier, which one do you think is going to have 0 pre-orders?
I think it's the lowest tier has the 0 number, so the 385
with $1,800.
Yeah, only because to be like Bill has said, and like how Gabe had noticed before, that a lot of people buy the most expensive version. So yeah, I'm gonna say the 385 had zero orders.
Rich, do you agree or disagree with what Carrie said?
Carrie convinced me. I'm not going to bet against Carrie on this one.
Oh no!
I was with you, Bill. Or at least where I think you were heading. Like, it's just, man, someone would buy a $4,200 handheld.
Somebody would absolutely buy.
But
I
think someone would absolutely buy a $4,200 handheld. So I'm with Carrie.
Yeah.
The lowest one is the one that doesn't have a pre-order.
Yeah, you guys are correct. So,
okay.
Sorry.
No, now I know the answer, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, the
I was
lowest tier
going to
one
be
had
right
0.
the whole time.
Which is, it's really interesting from their perspective. It's like, okay, we don't need to make any of the 385. We don't need this chip at all. Like just do
Right,
the
yeah.
$395, which is interesting. And so I can't remember what I said for the prices, but $2,300 for the $395. I'm looking at now $3,500. These are the early bird pre-order prices that you can no longer do. So it's $2,300 for the one with 64 gigs of RAM, and then the 128 gigs of RAM is $3,500. This is all before it goes to retail, which will be up to $4,300. So I have the numbers for those
Crazy
ones too.
prices.
I'll say real
Okay,
quick. Yeah, I'm gonna say in the hundreds, not the thousands.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say in the
For
hundreds.
which tier?
Oh,
Oh, I meant total.
Oh, total. Total is less than 200.
Yeah,
wait,
I'm gonna say most
total
of those
for
Total
all
for
three
all
tiers
tiers
is less than 200.
less than 200.
I
Yeah.
mean, but that's kind of par for the course for these devices. Like they make
Yeah.
so few of them, which is why they have to be the first
Yeah.
ones to raise the price because they're
3
always
digit
building new
is-
shit.
They've had
Yeah.
they were maybe in the beginning, Carrie, you'd have to correct me, but like I want to say upper thousands, right? Like 7, 8. They had
Yeah.
units that were like 7, 8, 9,000 units
Yeah.
pre-ordered. Yeah, okay.
But those
Yeah.
are the Android devices usually.
Okay, got
But
it.
Also, definitely
Lot
the
cheaper.
cheaper ones.
Yeah.
But the typical, to give you an idea, like the Win 2, I think was probably one of the most successful boutique handhelds that came out in 2017, and there was nothing else like that. And I think that they were at like 60 to 70,000 units
Wow.
tops.
That is a lot.
So
That's a
I
whole
mean,
lot.
but I mean, to any other company, there would be a gigantic. Like if Asus had 50,000 units, they'd be like, "Oh, this is a gigantic failure. We need to stop this immediately." But GBD is like, "Oh my god, this is fantastic success. Let's do it again." So typically, you have like 10,000 units or so that generally 10 to 20,000 units for the PC gaming handhelds. But then as prices started ballooning up, and then also the competition, that really started to eat into all that other stuff.
Yep. Yeah,
I think
that
the
makes sense.
competition, the thing is about these devices, the PC handhelds, is there's so many different form factors that you can get. And because none of these companies have the ability to say, we sold you a thing, now buy a bunch of games from us, they have to make the next thing. They have to. They don't have a choice. And the
Yeah.
only way they can say, hey, here's the next thing, and not have everybody say, well, screw you, I already have a thing, is to make it more powerful. And there's like, so then they get into this ridiculous race with numbers to try and, get the bigger number better. And it has a, what's it called when it's, the law of diminishing returns. You get
Right.
this law of diminishing returns where eventually people are just like, yeah, I can't keep doing this. These things are too expensive.
Yeah. I will say you were talking about innovation too. And one AYANEO handheld that goes a little underappreciated is the AYANEO 3. I like those controller things. Like it could be better
Those are
in
the ones
terms
with the pop outs.
Yes, yeah.
I love
So,
that.
Yeah, me too. So I was gonna say the controls themselves are like solid, not amazing, but the mechanic for popping them out, like it's really good. Like it's surprisingly robust from my usage of it so far. So yeah, I would like to see more stuff like that from them.
Yeah, so let me just give you the numbers so we don't have to belabor it too much. But so the middle tier, 112 people pledged for it. And then the high tier, the $3,500 pre-order, 30 people did it. So those are the numbers there. So
Wow.
they're small, but it's still that they raised $500,000 just based on that, which is crazy, just based on the money.
That is
Hey,
crazy.
those 30
That might
people
be-
will have limited edition consoles.
Yeah, that might be Hong Kong dollars. No, that's actually US dollars. Wow, interesting.
That's
Anyway,
really
yep.
impressive. Yeah.
Wait, how
Wow.
does that $500,000?
That's what I'm seeing. 177 backers raised and $446,000 is what it says on the Indiegogo. I don't know how they do
Yeah.
the math, but
Oh, okay. When you turn it into, when you say $500,000, my brain says that's a lot bigger of a number than 400,000. So you're right. It makes sense. My brain was just being stupid.
I've been there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about this. It's all bad news. We got to get to some good news. So we're going to move on to some good news, but not before you guys leave comments down below letting us know what you guys think of it. This was just a small part of my podcast, the Nerd Nest podcast. And if you enjoyed it, then do me a favor and click on that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, then I think you should check out the link in the description down below the like button. It's going to take you to the full podcast so you can check out the entire conversation and a whole lot more. If that sounds good, I hope to see you over there. Stay rad, and thanks for watching.